Former Hong Kong media mogul Jimmy Lai has taken the stand to defend himself against national security charges in a case being closely watched in Beijing as well as the West. Lai hadn't spoken publicly in nearly 4 years after being detained under the China-imposed laws. China correspondent Minmin Low joins us now from outside the West Kowloon Magistrates Court. Min, what has Lai said so far?
Yeah, this case is very closely watched. As you can see behind me, it's been raining all morning, and you can tell how interested people are because there was a long line of people waiting outside the courtroom this morning when we arrived. Obviously, the trial is ongoing now, and a couple of things that Jimmy Lai had said that stood out to me. He mentioned that he started Apple Daily, that pro-democracy newspaper that was forced to shut down in 2021. He started it because it reflects the core values of Hong Kong, which he said are freedom, freedom of assembly, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, the rule of law, and the pursuit of democracy. And that's interesting given that we know the national security law imposed by Beijing is a very broadly worded legislation that criminalizes secession, subversion, collusion with foreign forces, essentially banning all sorts of political protests in this city. Jimmy Lai also said that he denied that he has been involved in any sort of advocacy for the independence of Hong Kong. He said the idea is so preposterous. It's something that he never allowed his staff or his newspaper to mention. And he, by the way, is charged with 2 counts of collusion with foreign forces and 1 count of publishing seditious material. This is related to his role as the founder of Apple Daily, where he is accused of advocating for international sanctions against Hong Kong and China, and also using his newspaper to get people to go out to protest against that extradition bill, the proposed extradition bill by Beijing in 2019.
We know that Lai was detained in December 2022. He was denied bail. What's been the reaction from the international community so far?
Yeah, he's been detained since December 2020, so it's been close to 4 years now. And this case is not going to fly by under the radar because there's a lot of international media here. On Monday, you had a British Prime Minister specifically raising the issue of Jimmy Lai's deteriorating health with President Xi at the sidelines of the G20 summit in Brazil. And you have US President-elect Donald Trump pledging to secure the release of Jimmy Lai. You have the European Parliament asking for the unconditional and immediate release of Jimmy Lai as well. And this comes hot on the heels of that mass sentencing of the 45 pro-democracy activists yesterday. That had already drawn condemnation from the likes of the US and Australia, for example. Washington vowing to impose fresh sanctions on Hong Kong officials. And Beijing responded to these Western criticisms, saying they are trampling on the spirit of the rule of the law. And we know Beijing has always maintained that the national security law is essential to maintain stability here in Hong Kong, and had urged other countries not to meddle in its internal affairs.